Just started the record on the camera, so we missed the amazing intro.
Your call, you want to start over?
Nope. If anything, I can strip the audio file and just like put it at the beginning of the video with like a screen or something, and then...
Or we can pull like a Fox Sports. For those of us just joining on the live stream, Marco did a killer intro. It is to the first day of December.
We have that on audio. Most people are going to be listening audio only anyways.
All 6 of our fans.
Yes, let us know where you guys are listening to this.
All right, Marco, haven't seen you in a little bit.
Yeah.
Hit any Black Friday shopping? Any Cyber Monday deals that you were
Honestly,
excited about?
I was looking at stuff. Nothing seemed that interesting. I almost, I was this close to buying a 4K TV for like the family room and stuff, like just for everybody for Christmas, but I was like, it couldn't pull me in. I wanted to, but at the same time, I was like, I don't watch TV that much. Nor does like the rest of my family, so it's weird. Be a weird thing to get, even though...
I was going to say, you'll have a 4K TV to watch The Office reruns.
And then you watch those. Hey, but Impractical Jokers Season 9 coming February.
That's so
4K display.
And you'll still be watching The Mandalorian on your screen, on your phone.
On my
in
phone,
the basement.
right here. Great device. 1080p, mind you. On that small of a screen. Basically 4K at that point.
Marco, I know your spending habits, so I'm proud of you for not buying that 4K TV for no reason.
Hey. My spending habits are bad, but I'm also very good with money at the same time. I only spend it like when I have the money.
You spend it when you get it, though, so when you're like, oh, I need a $1,000 bed frame. And then once you hit 1,000, like, you're done.
Just like that.
So you go from having $1,000 to zero overnight.
Yep.
Same thing with a PlayStation. You're like, I need exactly $525. I have
$425. $425. I got the digital edition.
Okay.
And you know the best part? Barely have played it since I got it. So, that's been a great investment.
So if anybody wants a slightly used PlayStation, contact the podcast.
I got you. All hands on deck for this one.
For $700, we'll sign it. We'll send it to you.
Yes, I'm a scalper, guys. Don't think you're getting some cheap console from me. I'm scalping you. I don't know if that's how it went.
I don't think you're supposed to tell them you're scalping the price.
Oh, I'm not scalping, guys.
Marco, did we have any new trailers this week? I should have asked you before we started.
Well, I didn't really see much. There was a trailer actually right here, the Mauritanian. I don't know how you pronounce that. It seems like it's got Benedict Cumberbatch in it. 2021 release date. Do you want me?
This year,
Oh god, it's an ad. Oh god, it's so loud too.
like Couch Cove. Use your American Airlines Mastercard.
I hate it when they actually have an ad that you have to watch.
And start something priceless.
But yeah, I have not seen this. I don't even know like what the premise or anything is. Doesn't say down here at all. I don't know, you just want to watch it? Just wing it?
We could wing it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the audio, just so we don't get any strikes.
Okay.
And then go ahead and check out, what's this movie called?
It's called the Mauritanian?
Alright, go ahead and check out the trailer. We'll see you back in 2 seconds.
If you stray outside the designated areas, you will be removed.
Long trailer, 3 minutes, 11 seconds.
It's recommended you wear a hijab when visiting your client. We've had incidents of inmates spitting at female lawyers.
You want to represent the head recruiter for 9/11.
Mohamedou Ould Slahi, the Mauritanian held in Guantanamo. He recruited the guys who flew your friend's plane into the South Tower.
Why do I feel like I've seen him in that exact outfit before?
I'm gonna make him pay.
In the event the detainee lunges for you, push back away from the table. We're getting there as quick as we can.
So that's Cheyenne Woodley.
Yep.
I'm Nancy Hollander. This is my associate. We wish to represent you.
We are seeking the death penalty, but if we miss something, this guy goes home. Let's get to it.
Call this number.
So that's Jag, that's the military lawyers.
Tell her.
Alright.
Something nice.
The U.S. government is holding upwards of 700 prisoners.
Wait, what's her name? She's
When
lesbian.
do we start locking people up?
Glad we weren't doing that.
That's a lot of case files.
Can't think of her name.
Prosecution won't show us the evidence they have against you. It's all
Jodie Foster.
You got a problem, take it up with the government.
All my time here, I've been told you are guilty.
Not for something that I have done, but because of suspicions and associations. I am innocent.
He has been interrogated. He has been held against his will for 6 years without a single charge being laid against him.
Does it bother you at all working for someone like this?
I'm not just defending him. I'm defending the rule of law.
You haven't seen what I've seen.
Where I'm from in
I don't
Mauritania,
think
we know nothing
true
but
stories are
the
that much of a nerdy
that
thing,
believe
but
that the United States of America
another
will
trailer.
use fear and terror to control me.
A couple of sleepless nights, that's all. I've never been part of a conspiracy, but I'm starting to think this is what it must feel like to be on the outside.
You're thinking this: either wear the jersey or get off the field.
You need to tell me what happened to you. I can't defend you. Do you understand that?
You asked me to set fire to this place, but I'm still standing.
Maybe he's guilty.
Maybe he is. We're doing our job.
I'm not welcome home. That's not a part of my job.
If I'm wrong, when it comes to my reckoning, I'm the one that'll have to answer for it.
What makes you think you're any better than the rest of us? I don't think I'm better than anybody else. That is the point.
I don't know why I can't sing his accent.
This is a British guy giving a southern accent.
Yeah.
You know, I think I figured out why they built Guantanamo down there. My client, he's not a suspect. He's a witness.
Mr. Slahi, would you please raise your right hand and repeat after me?
The Mauritanian.
You got YouTube up?
YouTube.
Go ahead and leave that video up, just because if we go to the comment section later.
Okay.
Another YouTube one. Type in Benedict Cumberbatch. Penguins.
Just the first thing up there. Oh, that you can't say penguins.
Yeah, so the second one would be good.
Oh.
That's a talk show.
I think we can play this one.
I don't know, because this is coming from like a documentary,
Okay.
BBC Earth, so I don't know.
It looks desolate, but it's not deserted. At certain times of year, there's more life here than on any other island in the Pacific.
Oh, that looks like the thing Luke milked.
In August, after months at sea, elephant seals arrive. They depend on this island for breeding.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was going to be.
Macquarie will soon be heaving with 60,000
Penguins do
elephant
come up
seals,
soon.
but they won't have the
Yeah, they are.
beaches to themselves.
Here it comes.
One month later, another wave of migrants appear in the surf. These are royal penguins, and they're about to have their first sighting of land in 7 months.
I guess it's like an hour documentary.
They've spent that time hunting for
And you
fish
just can't
much
say
like the
penguins.
open
He
ocean.
says
Penguins.
penguins.
Not as funny as I remember it to be, but you get the point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Alright, we back recording?
Oh, hold on one sec. Alright, we're back.
Alright, and we're back. Cool. So,
Let's hit that trailer first.
Mauritanian. What'd you think?
I'm not gonna lie, fans, this isn't really a nerd-based...
I didn't know what it was about at all going into it, so it was kind of a shocker to both of us.
Yeah, you see Doctor Strange, you get excited. But probably not a movie for me.
No, it's a true story. And what was it? It was based off of the accusations against somebody that's supposedly innocent for the whole 9/11, like the master plan behind it, essentially.
Is the vibe I'm getting.
Okay.
But if you're looking for a feel-good movie to bring you into 2021, I don't think this is going to be it.
Yeah, no.
How do you feel about Shailene Woodley as an actress?
I haven't seen her in any movies.
What about the Spider Oh, that's right. She got cut out of those. She was supposed to be Mary Jane in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man movies.
Oh, really?
And there is a deleted scene with her in it because they're going to bring her into the third part after Gwen Stacy passes away.
Okay, yeah.
R.I.P. Gwen Stacy. And got cut out, and then the third one got canceled. So
that I'm still shocked about, Gwen Stacy dying in the second one.
It's all from the source material.
I know it's from source material. I just feel like in terms of, it was too quick.
I feel like you get Emma Stone as the lead actress, like you should hold on to her as long as you can.
Yeah.
So,
but there's also other versions of Spider-Man where she ends up being Peter's like wife and stuff in the future, right?
There's also one where she's Spider-Man, so
Okay.
Spider-Gwen.
All right, yeah. But yeah, no, this movie it's a true story. I probably won't see it. I think yeah, no. I won't watch it like on my own time, I guess I should say. If I was to watch it, like if somebody want to watch it, I'll watch it with them, I guess, but
To cut you off before you ask, no, this is not a Netflix and chill movie.
no, it's not.
Just,
What, you think I was going to bring that up?
You usually do. That's usually the first thing that you say. So.
There's no way I would watch this though with another dude.
With another what?
With another dude. I would have to be dating somebody and they would have to talk me into it.
So guys, in about 10 years, Marco will come back with his movie review.
Yes, 10 years.
How him and his mail order bride checked out the 9/11 movie. Alright guys, honestly, we saw Cumberbatch. We
Why?
got excited.
He was in another military movie, wasn't he?
He's in a lot of stuff.
But he was in like a World War II, World War I one, I thought recently.
The-
I don't know, just the outfit he was wearing in this seemed very like familiar, and I was like, I feel like I've seen him wear something like that before.
He's a great actor.
He is a
but
great
I
actor.
just can't.
He sounded awful in this role. Trying to do a southern accent.
I don't know if he was that far off, to be honest.
I think the problem is I heard a little bit of a hint of that. I think he was trying to go for like a deep southern accent, like a deep voice with the southern accent, but he has more of a higher, like it's not high, it's like a raspy high voice though.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't think the movie's gonna like be great or be bad because of his accent.
No, it's not.
But on paper, they got a lot of talented actors in it.
I feel like it's a very bland character for him too.
You just never know. Like I said, Marco, I feel bad that we're talking about this just because I'm not going to watch it.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Neither one of us is going to
If
watch
he's
it.
not dressed up in a cape, I feel like we're not going to talk about this. Moving on to something we will talk about. What do you want to hit back first? You want to talk about Nintendo World in Japan? We're 2 months away.
So I know really very little about this. I did see a thing where they did have like the Mario Kart carts for a roller coaster ride, I believe, and I'm not sure if this is the image I've been seeing around. Is this an actual image of the place or?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, so wow.
So of
That's
course,
even more impressive.
there's been leaks. I've been following this for probably the last year. There's been leaks about it coming out and little things that they've built. It looks insane. That roller coaster you were talking about is actually like part roller coaster, part virtual reality. So you're gonna wear like an Oculus helmet.
This one,
Yep.
the Koopa's challenge.
There's supposed to be goggles that go with it. But just look, imagine being able to walk up those steps. Where do you fall in the Nintendo world? Like, that was pretty much the main thing I played.
This
growing
is
up.
giving me so many Mario Kart vibes and everything.
Mhm.
I think because Mario Kart was really Mario Kart and like Nintendo or Mario 64 vibes.
Okay.
Because those are like probably their biggest games, I would have to say. But
It's
like,
hard to tell because they got Mario Party. That's huge.
yeah,
But no.
this is insane. But this is only in Japan, right?
Right.
Huh.
So, obviously, travel's not exactly on our plans right now. But I'd be intrigued. To
Hey,
see.
let's hit up the Olympics next summer and the theme park.
Oh, that's right. Olympics are going to Tokyo.
That's right. It's supposed to happen this year.
What I like about it is they're still calling it Olympics 2020 in 2021. I think realistically, you can't do the Olympics. And since we skipped the Olympics this year, I realize like it doesn't really register with me.
No.
I like some of the sports, but it just doesn't get me going.
Yeah. It's I don't know.
I want a Luigi's Haunted Mansion. If they can rock that like a haunted
Yeah.
ride.
But it would be cool if like you took like this slow walk in like the atmosphere around you slowly got like darker and everything, and then you got to the mansion.
We're on two different levels because I'm thinking Haunted Mansion like Disney. You get in the building, you get in a cart, they show you things, they whip you around, you leave.
Do you think they would just end up recreating the Haunted Mansion ride that they have for a Luigi's Mansion? It would be a safe bet.
Yeah. You don't have to take any like big swings.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel. I love theme parks. I love going to them. I'm big on them. Not crazy about the people, but
I think I'm probably better about them now than I was in the past. I was not a big roller coaster kid or anything.
Okay.
Those drops and stuff kind of freaked me out.
Which I think is the point, but...
Yeah. But, like, I'm definitely better now than I was in the past. But, like, you know how I drive. I don't think...
You think I'm... Please have the roller coaster slow down?
It's not going the speed limit!
My friend's tummy can't handle it. He just had 10 pounds of sushi.
I think my balls are in my throat.
And, of course, we're in Japan, so no one has any idea what you're saying. We're going to have to, like, hire a translator for the week.
Oh, my God.
Because you're going to be eating, like, rice balls.
Oh, man.
Or, you know what? I'm sure Princess Peach Village or something, the kids section, we can get you on a ride there.
You know what? I wonder what type of food they would sell at this theme park.
I don't know much about Japanese theme parks, but you got to think it's there. They're not going to be selling a whole lot of American food.
Yeah. And on top of that, how will it relate to the Mario world?
Japan doesn't slack. So
yeah.
The idea that Japan, which is a smaller country, invested in this, it's going to be amazing.
They're just going to go balls to the wall. They're going to give you the most magical mushrooms you've ever had.
I'm just like, I can't wait till some more video comes out.
Yeah.
Did you go to images on Google? Did anything else pop up?
Hold on, I did go on Google.
Well, since we're speaking of Mario, I gotta buy that new Mario game for the Switch. That's like N64 and 3 other games.
Wow, that is a terrible image.
Did you type in theme park? Because Super Nintendo World, by the looks, is a game. But anyway, so they remastered a couple games for the Switch. They're going to stop selling it.
Did they remaster them, or were they just like porting them over? Because I don't think they updated graphics or anything.
They usually do, from what I've seen, but I didn't look too far into it. All I know is it's a weird strategy. It just came out, and they're going to stop selling it in March.
Really?
So it's like limited release.
That's very strange.
So I'm almost tempted to buy 2, just so in case something happens on my 1 copy, I can still play my sweet N64.
Yeah.
It's also the controllers are nowhere near the same, so I'm going to be intrigued.
I know. This is like the bet. It doesn't seem that big.
Looks like a map.
Yeah. Huh.
It might not be that big. I remember, I don't know, it was supposed to open up in Buffalo, New York, but COVID hit. It was supposed to be an N64 go-kart track.
Really?
And I was all stoked, because if you think about it, Buffalo's like 6 hours away. So it's doable. So now we're looking at Nintendo Land over here.
Wait.
Oh, that's Orlando.
Are they making one in Orlando? Or is this like a concept?
It looks like a concept. I haven't heard anything about it.
Yeah, me neither.
But if you look at it, you got Pokemon there.
But I'm wondering if that Japan thing is just the Mario portion. We're not even in like Luigi's Mansion or anything yet.
It could be.
So because they're calling it Super Nintendo Land.
Mm-hmm.
All Nintendo will be included probably at some point.
Which is smart because, like, look at this thing. Yoshi. You got Legend of Zelda.
Yeah.
Pokemon. So you have a lot of stuff right there.
Yeah.
I never even thought about.
Super Smash Bros. Coliseum. That could be a really cool place.
But you got to think with the COVID right now, this is the worst time to open up a theme park.
Yeah, I know.
I'm trying to think.
Although,
I think Disneyland never opened back up. Disney World did. Disneyland's been shut down.
Yeah, that's because Florida doesn't care.
You're absolutely right. I am so intrigued by Florida. Like, how is it still running? It's just anyone's game.
Wasn't Burt born in Florida?
Burt Kreischer? Yeah, he's a Florida boy.
Okay. Oh, it makes a lot of sense.
Explains a lot. No disrespect to Florida. I love Florida. But the rules we play by up here are not the same as down there.
Oh, no, definitely not.
And I think they would agree.
So, we talked about Nintendo Land. I definitely, I want to go, but that is a long trip.
I'm trying to think. It's almost like a day on a plane, isn't it?
Yeah. Hey, one good thing is that Joe, his relatives, live in Japan.
Which relatives on which side?
Well, on Kate's. It's Kate's brother. So my brother-in-law, actually.
Is that the one from the wedding that got really handsy?
No, that was not him.
Is with guys, so it's okay. Shout out to Kate's brother.
Shout out to one of her brothers.
All right, no worries. A mistake we made last week is we didn't talk to Mandalorian until like the 35-40 minute mark.
Yeah.
And that brought us all the way to like an hour and 20. So you want to kick off Mandalorian?
Yes,
What's
Mandalorian, chapter 13, so episode 5 of season 2. Man, I don't even know what to say. I'm getting chills again.
Have you watched it more than once?
No, I have not. I haven't had time.
I thought about it.
I saw a lot of people on Twitter saying that they were going to watch it a second time. I saw a lot of people on Twitter say they watched it a second time. And let me tell you, I think it's worth a second watch.
My definition of a good movie is if I'm sitting in the theater and I go, I could watch that right now over again.
Yes.
So I get that with a lot of the Marvel movies, Star Wars to an extent. But so when I watched the episode, it was 2 a.m. If someone said, hey, let's watch it again, I would have geared up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was awesome. And shout out Grogu. We have the name now. We have the name.
Marco's wearing his Grogu sweater.
Yep. Look at it. Yeah, it's a well, when I bought it, it was a Baby Yoda Mandalorian Christmas sweater. We gotta tag Grogu on this bitch.
If anybody's mom sews, have her give us a patch.
You know what I realized? Is he doesn't have his little crib thing anymore.
His floating?
Yeah, because remember it got destroyed by the monster?
Right.
Because I was like, oh, they should etch Grogu into it.
I'm sure he can get another one. But no, I think that's just part of the character development.
Actually, you think that's what he's going to do? He's going to get more of the stuff that makes up his armor and then make a child crib thing with that stuff?
He could be, but now Grogu's walking more.
Yeah.
He's more likely to wander off. I think it's just part of character development, where now he's also in danger.
Yeah, yeah.
So let's start one thing at a time. The name Grogu, what do you think about it? Because I love it.
I think it's a good name. It's not like... I think people were expecting something with a Y.
Which would have been a cop-out.
Yeah, it would have been a cop-out.
Because we talked about it last week. We didn't know his name, and we thought it might be something along the lines of Yoda or Yoda's wife.
Yoder.
Is that it?
No, hers was Yaddle.
That's it. So something with a Y.
It wasn't even his wife, though, because remember, they're Jedi.
Oh, I always forget that. Well, she's never on screen.
That was the insane thing about people saying, thinking it was Yoda's baby. I'm like, are you guys out of your mind? You think out of everybody there, Yoda's the one
that broke the vow?
Yeah.
Nope.
Imagine that 900 years. And that's how you live.
It's a long time. So anyways, I heard the name, and I was just like, why did she say that? Then it's like, oh, that's his name.
Yeah.
And my instinct was, of course it's his name. That's a perfect name.
Yeah.
And people are upset online. They don't like the name. That's crazy.
There's some people that are like, oh, it should have been this, should have been that. They're like, oh, it doesn't have enough, oomph to it. I'm like, no. It's a goddamn name, first of all. Chill out.
Sorry, I don't know who they're talking about. He looks like a Grogu. He acts like a Grogu. Yeah. And as a name I didn't know existed.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I love it.
The best part is when they go, Grogu.
Mm-hmm. His ears perk up like a dog.
He's excited because he's like, oh, Dad knows my name.
Finally saying my name. You think that's what Tyrod Taylor would finally do if his dad finally called him by the right name? I'm not going to make any celebrity friends at this rate.
No worries. Speaking of football, if you like this, check out our companion podcast where me and Marco talk football. Doesn't have a name yet. We'll get there.
We're trying, guys.
All right, but anyway, so let's talk about Ahsoka for a minute. In an episode that we thought might have Ahsoka, or maybe a Luke Skywalker, in the first minute, we see Ahsoka.
That I was surprised about.
I was surprised, too. I thought she would show up at the very end of an episode.
Well, I thought she would show up in a different way, Mando would be looking for him and she jumps out of nowhere. Which kind of happens when he is, but I thought that would be her first appearance, not just we just see her right away just attacking people and kind of get a setup to her character.
With Mandalorian... Oh, sorry. With Mando tracking her, I thought that she would start tracking him. I
Yeah.
thought that's what was going to happen. So I thought it was really cool. They set up her story to an extent. So she is not a Jedi. She is part of that sect that's neither good nor bad.
Gray Jedi.
Okay.
Well, I think that she doesn't say she's a Gray Jedi. I'm pretty sure that's where she falls, which is like I can't even think of like the explanation for it. It's just like you fall in the middle.
Does she identify as a Jedi?
So she doesn't. Well, last we knew she didn't.
Right.
She never denies it though in the episode, which is confusing to me.
Because she calls her a Jedi.
Yes.
The villain.
But one thing I read somewhere is that in that title, Jedi is supposed to be plural. And I think it's plural because she brings up other Jedis in that episode. And Grogu is a Jedi as well. Well, was. At some point.
Hold on, let me work this out for a second. Look at those Jedi. He is a Jedi. I guess there is no S version.
Yeah.
So she did mention there's a slim chance that Grogu can get trained by someone else.
Yes. So there's multiple theories. So you heard... Do you know who Grand Admiral Thrawn is?
You want to explain it to me? Because she mentioned it in the...
So he was like the main villain in Star Wars Rebels. He's like this blue creature. I'll pull up a picture of him.
Marco, we have to watch this show.
We do have to watch this show.
You and I are going to have to get some courage.
This is him in the show. So he's like the main villain in the show. Don't know like the entire like story of like what he was doing and stuff. I think he was part of the order that is trying to go around and kill off the remaining Jedi. He was helping the Inquisitors and stuff with that, try and find them. At the end of the show, him and like the main character in that show, his name is Ezra in Star Wars Rebels. At the end of the show, he is on the same Star Destroyer as Thrawn, and they go off into hyperspace into the unknown regions.
Okay.
So Ahsoka's trying to look for this Jedi, Ezra. That's why she's looking for Thrawn. She's trying to find him.
Okay, so this is continuing what we saw in Rebels.
Yes. But you have to think, that is a long time. That's like 15 years at that point that she hasn't seen this kid.
Is he captive at the end of the show? Is that what's going on? Because Ahsoka was in Rebels.
Yes.
She had a story arc there.
Mm-hmm. He's not he's on that Star Destroyer, like trying to fight his way out, I'm pretty sure. But he ends up choosing to save his friends as opposed to getting himself out of there.
Let me ask you this. So we see Ahsoka in Clone Wars. She is a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's well established. Like, her kind ages differently. But she's fun-loving. She's got that a little bit of arrogance, but not... I guess cocky.
She has a lot of Anakin's attributes.
Right.
She just knows how to control her emotions better.
So when Anakin is growing up and he sees that in her, it's a little bit of different chemistry. Because he's like, okay, this is who I was. And so I kind of know how to deal with her.
Yeah.
So you make the argument, just as Obi-Wan Kenobi was probably the only one that could handle Anakin Skywalker, Ahsoka's the only one that could give Anakin what he needed at that time. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, and that's part of the reason he went to the dark side when she left.
Right. So that's all tied in together. So will you agree with me that Ahsoka Tano we saw is not the same fun-loving kid that we saw in Clone Wars?
We see that change at the end of the Clone Wars. Just the way when she realizes that the Jedi Order has fallen and that the Sith are rising.
I see that a little extent. I'm trying to think of those moments where pretty much her talking to Maul in the Clone Wars. And you see her where she's like, there's that possibility that we're going to lose this. And even afterwards, when they have to team up on the ship, I think that's the very last episode.
Well, because remember, Maul warned her.
Right.
Maul straight up told her what the plan was, and she didn't want to believe it, which obviously I understand why she didn't want to believe it. But you see it through Star Wars Rebels. In Star Wars Rebels, she comes into contact with Darth Vader, and she's like, just like the tone and everything, she's a way different person. And I think it's kind of like Luke from episode 5 to episode 6.
There's an evolution.
Yes.
How do I put it? Rosario Dawson, great actress, killed it. Did a perfect job. It's just the character herself has aged, has matured, where she's not a kid anymore.
Yeah.
And I just hold on one sec. I think I see what you're saying, but you see flashes of that kid when she's with Grogu.
Yes.
And where she's like, Grogu, catch.
Yeah.
And then, like, she's talking to him. We don't know what he's saying back to her in the Force.
Yeah.
Probably explaining some stuff. But you see, like, this half smile she puts on. So you see flashes back to, like, that fun-loving kid.
So, I read that her race, or her species, ages slower than normal.
Correct.
I feel like Rosario Dawson, just because of her age, was not a good choice in terms of, like, the athletic things that they could have done. Because she's, like, mid-40s, I think. Which lines up with where Ahsoka would be in age. The problem is because of how the species ages as a whole, I think, 30-year-old would have maybe have resulted in better, like, I just felt like some of the action scenes, she didn't move as fluidly or as, how do I put it? I feel like they could have sped it up with editing. I feel like some things were just, like, slow moving.
I think they did it on purpose.
Okay.
I can't tell you why, because anything you're saying can be done with editing and a body
Yeah,
double.
yeah.
And honestly, I think Rosario Dawson's doing fine.
Yeah.
I love the trope of you're a hero, I'm a hero, but we have to fight first.
Yeah.
And it's one of the favorite things you see in the Marvel Universe, like Thor and Iron Man have to go at it, even though they're on the same team.
Yeah.
And it goes through every movie, and it's just one of those best things you knew was going to happen. So that look on her face when Mando gets her in the rope that he shoots out, and just the look of like, oh, someone got me.
Yeah.
No one's gotten her in so long that she was like almost pleasantly surprised by it.
Yeah.
Or when the cape gets set on fire and she's doing flips, and he like puts her over the tree, then she cuts it. It's just perfect sequence.
I'm surprised that nothing came up about the Mandalorian, because remember, Ahsoka was deep into the Mandalorian stuff back in the Clone Wars.
They mention it a couple times where it's just like a Jedi and a Mandalorian teaming up.
Yeah.
They'll never see it coming. So I think there's just so much you can put in the show. But at this point, like, do you want to see an Ahsoka show where she's at this point? Or do you want to see the Mandalorian spin-off show?
I had a crazy theory that Boba and Ahsoka are going to get their own shows, and we're going to have like a Marvel Cinematic Universe, but with Star Wars TV shows, and then they come together every now and then, like crossovers.
I think it's easily done. You ever watch the CW superhero shows?
No, I have not.
So that's what they did.
Really?
They started out with Green Arrow.
Okay.
First, I would recommend the first 4 seasons of that is really good. And then season 4 of Arrow, I believe, they introduced Barry Allen, the Flash. First 3 seasons of that is fantastic. And then you build off, you get Supergirl, and then once a year they get all the shows together, and they do like a 5-episode crossover. It's really good.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I fell off of it a couple years ago, just because I didn't have time to watch 5 shows. And then anytime you get later in the years of show, it's so hard to do something good. So like by season 5 of The Flash, he's fought in speedsters 5 years in a row. I get kind of done.
Yeah, so I think something like that may happen. It's a possibility.
I think it's got to be a slow burn though.
Yeah.
You got to do it really slow, because as we saw with Star Wars, you screw up once, the fan base does not forgive you.
Oh man.
And they're gonna tank your next project.
I think big key is just keeping Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni on board.
Which is so funny because that's what Marvel didn't do.
Yeah.
They let him do the first 2 Iron Man movies, so he pretty much set up the Marvel Universe, and then they're like, we'll take it from here.
Yep. Those sons of bitches.
And again, it's not
they
like,
took all his fame and wealth.
It's not like it's even a bad thing that happened. It's just what happens.
Those 2 are the biggest Star Wars nerds in the world. They know everything.
What 2 are we talking about?
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau.
Okay, yeah.
Like, they know legitimately everything. They know things that I don't even know.
Who directed this one?
This episode, Dave Filoni directed.
What a perfect choice.
Yep.
Like, a character
bring him in to bring a character back that he essentially
put on the map.
Yeah.
And, like, cradled and evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Just perfect. So I'm intrigued. So anyways, back to my question. So would you rather have the Mandalorian spin-off show or Ahsoka?
Oh man, that's hard. That's a hard one. I'll go with Ahsoka.
Okay. I'll take the Mandalorian one, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
I would be good with the Ahsoka one, but you got to do years before this.
Yes.
I think this is the point where Ahsoka's winding down. I think we're going to see her story arc end.
Well, we will. You have to think she was one of the voices Rey heard at the end of episode 9.
Right. So her story is almost over.
Yeah.
So I feel like we haven't earned that. I feel like we should have had from Ahsoka end of Clone Wars to now. I'd do that TV show in a second. I just feel like we haven't earned her ending. And as a character we enjoy, as a character we respect, we have to earn that ending.
Although you have to think there's still like another like 30 years to go before we even get the events of the sequel trilogy.
That is true, and I guess we just don't know what Ahsoka's age is like.
Yeah.
Because she's not that kid anymore. I'm having a real hard time. Where is she at in her journey?
Yeah, yeah.
And if she's still just tracking Thrawn, sorry, then she's at a different part. But there's got to be that evolution where she's still that kid turning into this.
Yeah, yeah.
And again, I don't blame the show at all. The show did an amazing job.
Oh, no,
There's just these little parts of character development that I want to see.
Yeah.
But like I was saying before, the Star Wars that you like, the second one of the new trilogy, Rian Johnson, you're the only one that defends it?
No.
No.
Half the fan base defends it with me. I'm calling on you 50% people. You better help me out here.
All right, so I'm not going to let Marco go into this because we have gone into this extensively. We'll do a separate video, and it's probably going to be an hour, 15 minutes.
Let's not forget me out of breath during a workout, still disputing this while suffering.
I'm trying to think of what workout that was. It was a timed workout.
It was a timed workout.
I want to say it was 28 minutes.
It was a 29-minute workout.
Every minute on the minute, right?
No. So it was so each round was a minute round, and you went 5 exercises in a row, and then the 6th minute was a rest. And you did that 5 times through. And I remember Charlie coming after me. I'm out of breath, but I was not going to let him tell me that The Last Jedi is a bad movie. Because you know what? It is a terrible take.
Marco's out of breath because the workout's hard to begin with. And any extra second he had, he's bringing up points, character development, writing issues that were fixed. And Charlie's only take was he saw it once and didn't like it because he's not that big of a fan. Marco wouldn't even turn around to look at him as he's just like dripping in sweat. He's on the ground on his back.
It's like an 89-degree day.
It was hot, yeah. I had already done that workout the day before, and Marco was just like panting on the ground trying to catch his breath. And another thing, he took an interesting take. It was one of the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
Marco, I don't have a signal from your computer. You go into screensaver mode?
Hold on. It's back. We're back.
Okay, no worries. I just want to make sure that we didn't lose any of the tracking.
No.
Again, I'm not going to let you guys do that because these podcasts are going to get way too long if we let Marco go on that rant.
Please. Let me out of my cage.
So that's what I'm saying. You gotta do it slowly. I would love it. Mandalorian 22 episode season. Not gonna happen, and rightfully so. The fan base can't handle it because the second one episode's no good. We're all gonna fall apart. So
yeah.
Was there any part in that episode you thought Grogu's staying with Ahsoka?
No.
Agreed. I was just like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Now she said another Jedi may take him.
Right, and that's going to keep the story going.
So that temple they're going to is a very important temple in the Knights of the Old Republic, or in the Old Republic MMO game that's out.
Mm-hmm.
I forget the name of it.
While you're thinking of that thought, is this the same one with the Kyber crystals?
Am
I saying that right?
I have no. It's Tython. What cyber crystals?
The ones that the Jedi have to choose to make their own lightsaber.
No, are you talking about the planet in the Clone Wars they go to?
Yeah.
No, that planet is the same one that Starkiller Base is made from in Episode 7.
Correct.
And this is This is what it looks like. It's like a grass planet and stuff, and it's a very nice temple. And let's see. This is the Star Wars The Old Republic game. You can go to it. This is like an MMORPG.
Mm-hmm. What is... And this was just a separate Jedi temple? What's the story with this? Do you know?
I think I don't know what's special about it. I think it's supposed to have like the strongest connection with the Force potentially.
Okay.
That's what they made it sound like in the show because he could send out a Force signal essentially to all these Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
I see that's probably where they end the season.
I think we're going to get a two-part season ender.
Okay.
I think Moff Gideon's going to catch up to them.
I was surprised he didn't catch up with them that episode where Ahsoka could help.
I think that's why. They definitely set up that I don't know the name of the material for that spear.
Mm-hmm.
They were setting up the duel between Mando and Moff Gideon.
You knew he's going to use that. No, that's smart. I didn't even think about that.
That's what they were doing.
I do like that he still goes by the code where he's like, I didn't finish the job.
Yeah.
It's just like this code it's Batman. His
so
one rule
flawed.
is no killing. He's going to have to break his own code. And I love that.
But man, so these last two episodes are going to get crazy. Now the question is, we have 3 left.
Okay.
But the last 2 are going. I'm scared that this one's going to be a filler episode coming up. More filler than it is going to be like progressing the story. The last 2 episodes are going to be crazy.
Honestly, Marco, I don't know how they do another filler episode because there's.
Do you
so
think they
much
do a
to be wrapped up.
3-part ender to this season?
I don't think so. But again, the way the story's written, they can pretty much chop it up however they want.
Yeah. Now the question is, does Ahsoka show back up in this season?
So that's the $1 million question because Sasha Banks, she was the Mandalorian that didn't talk.
Yeah.
She said she's not in it anymore. Which I think is weird that she'd say unless it's a red herring.
Yeah.
But I believe her. Because the universe is so big at this point, you can't bring the Sheriff back, you can't bring the Mandalorian back and Ahsoka back.
I feel like we have to see Boba Fett.
Boba Fett's another one. So there's just so much.
His
they have on
appearance
the
was
table.
so small, he's got to come back.
And again, we don't even know that for sure.
Yeah.
So as long as they don't bring back all 3 for a finale where they all just happen to be in the same place.
I could see Ahsoka and Boba Fett returning.
Yeah, give me 2 out of the 4. I don't care.
I think that Sheriff is not alive right now. I think he's dead and Boba took back his Mandalorian armor.
I thought Mando has it.
Man, that's right. We talked about this last week.
Every time you just won't let it go.
I won't let it go.
Boba needs his armor back.
Boba does need his armor back.
It's his. They didn't earn it.
I feel like he's going to show back up in the show at some point with his armor on. And we're going to be like, how the hell did he get that?
So the rumor was a Boba Fett TV show. What do you think they do with that story? Hold on. Before we go to there, I'll try and remember to go back to there. My heart broke when Ahsoka goes to Mando. There's much fear in him. I've seen it before, and I will not put another down that path. Like, I'm just sitting there, and like in my voice, like right now, I was like, she's talking about Anakin.
She's talking about Anakin. She won't even say his name.
She would not.
That is how upset she was.
Still, that she had to watch her master turn to the dark side.
But think about that. It screwed over the entire galaxy through that up to that point too. The weird thing about it too is that the Empire is technically dead right now.
Right.
And does nobody know about Luke Skywalker?
It feels like no one's talking about it. They're like, yeah, you know, those Jedi from years ago.
Which is insane because at the end of what was it? Episode 8, there's that little kid playing with the action. Yeah, with the broom, but they were playing with these action figures pretending it was Luke Skywalker standing in front of the First Order and stuff. So like everybody heard about that story.
Right.
Somehow. We literally saw the sheriff was talking about how they were at the bar watching the destruction of the second Death Star.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody knew that Luke Skywalker like headed that thing.
Maybe not at that point. I'm sure it came out at some point. Sorry, I keep saying the word point.
But like
your whole the kid playing with action figures thing,
because
that movie's crap. I'm just kidding. Sorry.
I swear to God. I swear to God.
I can't do that to you. I can't do that to our listeners.
That scene was kind of useless, but I will give you that.
Why? Because we're at the 2.5 hour mark, and he's like, "Of course, the kid will play with toys."
Of course, he'll just randomly use the Force to grab his broom as opposed to walking the extra 2 feet to grab it.
But then again, Grogu, we find out, was on the Jedi Temple. and he was taken before Order 66. Mind blown if it is.
I want Mace Windu back.
So you think, and again, he had many masters, because again, Baby Yoda ages differently. So it's like he was there long enough, and he was just learning from Yoda himself. Because Yoda was there. There's no way he didn't learn from Yoda.
Ahsoka talks about Yoda, and his ears perked up when he heard it.
So,
which means that he has some type of connection with Yoda.
So we've been treating Grogu as if he's like an infant, which now we know he's
50
not.
years old.
Right, but even aging differently, we're like, oh, he's a baby. He doesn't understand. Oh, he understands. And when he said he had to hide his powers, so that means someone that's Force sensitive is tracking him. So he's been laying low. When he wouldn't throw the ball back to her, or the rock, he looks at it. You find these little moments where he's just like, he looks at it, he knows he can do it, and then he's just like, fuck this.
Yep. Hey, but we saw that Mando knew how to get him.
With the little nub.
Yep.
So it's like, how has this guy been at the Jedi Temple for, say, 40 years? Ages slowly, but he's just like, Dad's got a ball.
Not going to do this one.
I'm not supposed to have the ball.
Actually, you have to think, let's see. He probably hasn't been to the temple 15, 25 years.
And they usually go shortly after birth, correct? It's only like age 2 or 3 they get there.
So you have to think he probably went 35 years training and then had nothing the past 15 years.
But realistically, how much training could he have had without that capacity?
Yeah.
So we don't know what he can do. And we were always under the assumption, or at least I was, that he didn't know how to use his powers.
He does. He's just hiding them.
Well, which shows restraint when Mando's in trouble and he doesn't use it. So it's interesting. They were talking using the Force. Is that correct? Have we seen that before besides Rey and Ben?
Well,
when Ben's shirtless.
Ben Swallow?
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Oh, didn't see you there. You want to see my 6-pack? Or these gnarly pecs I've been benching to get?
Sorry I'm so sweaty. I was killing innocent people. But you're a bad girl like me, aren't you, Rey? Like, alright, the skin weird.
Oh, man. But anyhow, I don't even know what we're talking about now.
I was asking if Ahsoka talking to Grogu.
Well, we know that Jedis can read into each other's minds. Like, remember Yoda always said he could kind of see what Anakin was like envisioning in his head.
Who said that?
Yoda does in Episode 3. Remember, he goes to like that Jedi temple room with just Yoda to kind of do like counseling essentially. So like we've seen it before. I think Rey and Kylo was to like a larger extent because they were doing Force FaceTime at that point.
Pretty much.
But no, we've seen them like look into each other's minds and stuff.
It's Force time, by the way.
It's Force time?
Force FaceTime.
Force time. Okay. All right.
Someone out there giggled at that.
Hey, babe, want Force time?
Again, 10 years we'll get that movie review fixed.
But yeah, no, yeah, we've seen it. Nothing much else to go on about that.
And again, with Yoda then, he just senses... I got the impression he senses things. He senses the fear. He senses...
I think it was more they were looking at each other's visions.
Something we haven't talked about yet is the correlation between Ahsoka not wanting to train Grogu the same way... It's just in all Star Wars. The person that needs to be trained...
They didn't want to train Anakin at first?
They didn't want to train Rey.
They didn't want to train Rey?
They didn't want to train... Was Luke met with...
Luke did... Yoda didn't want to train him at first.
Right, Yoda didn't want to train him. And it's all the same reason, where it's just like, too old, can't do it.
Yoda's was more he sensed much fear in Luke, though.
Right.
His wasn't necessarily his age. Rey's was just... I forget what Rey's was, honestly.
What makes this
I think it was Rey's was more because of Luke's own failure why he wouldn't train her.
Right. But and it's just crazy to see the correlation. Like the guys doing this is insane what they can do.
The parallels though between Grogu and Anakin are ridiculous. Do you know they were born the same exact time?
So you're telling me Anakin's mom had sex 9 months before Anakin was born? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now?
It's just saying Grogu and Anakin were born the same time.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Well,
but like no. So
wait a minute. Hold on. So if they're born at the same time, are they the Ben and Rey, where they share this? I'm trying to think of how they.
The dyad, the Force dyad.
Right.
That's what you're looking for.
Don't tell
Great
me what I'm
minds
looking
think
for.
we're a Force dyad.
Don't.
See, I finished your sentence.
Joe, where are you? Me and Marco are getting along too well. So any fans of our earlier podcast where we just shit on Marco, we're trying to get Joe back.
Here's the thing, is we have 2 Jedi here. We need the Sith back. To balance it out.
So any fans of the classic Joe episode, we'll try and get him next week. Still healing from the leg injury. But anyways, yeah, so now Vader's dead.
Mm-hmm.
So his half of the Force triad is gone.
Yeah.
That's gonna suck for Darth Vader.
Dyad.
When you're like, oh, I guess I'll Force FaceTime someone and you're just talking to a baby.
But, so, the question is...
Oh man, was he hiding from Vader?
Who, Grogu?
Grogu, yeah. Where he's trying to hide his Force powers?
Yeah.
That's who was hunting the Jedi.
Vader as well as the Inquisitors. Vader was mainly doing a lot of the hunting. We need a film where we get Vader.
Those comics are insane.
I know.
You could easily do a show where Vader's hunting the rest of the Jedi down. It's just going to be very depressing.
If we're going to keep talking about Vader, rest in peace, David Prowse. The man in the armor.
I'm the one that told you this week, for the record.
I know.
I don't want people to think Marco brought it up.
Well, I knew about it.
I'm in the group chat.
But look at this. Star Wars actor David Prowse died from COVID-19, daughter says in a report. Not sure how true this is, but...
I heard the same thing. I mean, he was 85 years old. He had a really good run. So he was a bodybuilder.
Age is just a number, Brandon. God.
So in 10 years when Marco's nailing the 85-year-old woman watching that war movie, remember this. So anyways, David Prowse was a bodybuilder, and he was really just in the costume because he fit the build.
Yep.
Which is funny because that's what a 70s bodybuilder looked like if you want to bring up Darth Vader, or even that one with him in costume. This is, since it's Nerds in the Gym, just his body type versus what a bodybuilder would become in the 80s with Arnold and those guys.
Yeah. Have you ever heard this?
What we got? Darth Vader voice before those sort of?
Finding the right voice for Darth Vader was another challenge.
And action!
Lucas had never intended to use the on-set vocal performance of David Prowse.
Start tearing this ship apart piece by piece until you find those tapes. Find the passengers in this vessel. I want them alive!
I can still hear David
Pause
Prowse's
it.
accent.
It's so bad.
Well, I think he was just doing his own voice.
He was doing his own voice. That is what happened.
So, did you hear the story how he didn't know they didn't use his voice until he saw the premiere?
Yes. Which is just like George Lucas being a dickhead.
Honestly, I think he's just a socially awkward guy where he's just like,
George Lucas?
yeah, he kind of talks like this. He's just like, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, you know, I wish I could do the
voice.
voice. God damn it. God, I wish I could talk like George Lucas.
Says no one ever. It's not really one that you need.
You know who would do a great impression? Patrick Mahomes.
Who?
Of George Lucas. Patrick Mahomes doing George Lucas.
Again, catch us on something jockstrap.
Yeah.
Our
Catch this
companion
jockstrap.
Still don't have a name. We'll see. We'll find it. But no, it's sad anytime some of the original trilogy goes. You were saying earlier today we're down to Han Solo. We have
Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill.
and Lando Calrissian.
Anthony Daniels. As well, C-3PO. I mean, that's how you're supposed to react about that. But yes, he is.
I thought I already passed. But anyways.
No, he's been in... He was in episode 9. He's still going strong, yeah. He's only 74. He's got another probably like 26 years in the tank.
Yeah. It's not like the other guy.
It's because for some reason in my head I think everybody just lives to 100. I'm like, that's the cutoff point.
Mark, this is where your youth comes out, where you haven't lost a ton of people yet. You're what, 20?
Yep.
So I'm 9 years older than you. So it's going to hit you probably 26, 27. And you're just like, I only have 40 years left.
No, I got 80.
Oh, those crunches. But no, so T's and P's of Darth Vader. Thank you for your work.
Yes, thank you. Dude, not only just thank you, but all due respect.
Yeah, you got to think about how much happiness he brought to a bunch of people.
He really did make that like very like menacing. I guess I can't think. Just like his presence, menacing presence.
Well, you got to think. I don't know about you. The
His,
first time
like,
I saw Star Wars, terrified of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And it's not like I'm trying to think how to say it. You're not scared, but like you know he's the villain.
Yeah.
Like you're uncomfortable, and honestly, if you think about it, he's probably the first non-cartoon villain for all of us.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything else that's a live-action villain, but for him, that's huge.
Yeah, no, it's yeah.
And you also got to remember that reveal where they take off his helmet and he's dying.
Best part, they didn't use David Prowse for that either.
Oh no?
That's not David Prowse.
I was trying to find something else to give this guy props. So now
George Lucas.
George Lucas really hated David Prowse.
He really did.
I'll let Marco finish his hysterically laughing. But this is amazing. Where it's just like turned in from a eulogy to what did he do?
You know what? And you don't make me search up this BS. I was listening to our podcast that just released recently, and Joe always disputes my claims instantly. He doesn't believe a single one.
So we're gonna learn a lesson here. Either Marco's right sometimes, or I'm a dumbass for not questioning
I'm
everything
telling
Marco
you.
says. With Star Wars stuff, I feel like it's pretty safe.
Use for... It's probably way too long.
But now we just have to go interview George Lucas and be like, what did this guy do to you? You can't shave his head, make him pale, and then say my son or whatever.
Face reveal. Actor. Wasn't Dave Prowse?
It's saying it is. Oh no. Yeah, it's Sebastian Shaw.
Yep. Return the Jedi in a brief but significant role as the redeemed Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, so he was the one after. Who is this Force Ghost?
He also was the person in underneath the armor.
You sure?
Yeah. When
Sorry,
they take the mask off, it is him.
When I read Sebastian Shaw, I thought it was Sebastian Stan. I was getting ready to shit on you for clicking on it. I was like, yep, it's 1 year old.
Unmasked and dying Anakin Skywalker in Return of the Jedi.
Okay, $1 million question, is he still alive? Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym.
No, he died in 1994.
Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym. Who's alive and who's dead in Star Wars?
Let's have a big Star Wars funeral.
Now we're crossing into that inappropriate boundary.
If that was inappropriate, God.
T's and P's to Sebastian Shaw and David Prowse. We don't have too many Vaders left.
I know, we only have one. The voice. James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones and Hitchinson. Prequels, Star Wars.
Prequel Star Wars.
Yeah. Hayden.
Oh, Hayden Christensen, okay. Wow, he's 89 years
Still
old, James
counts.
Earl Jones.
And we just got a new one in Rogue One. The ending of Rogue One.
Yeah.
Busted a new Darth Vader out.
Mm-hmm.
Any other thoughts on that episode?
I'm just excited for the future of this show. I am so excited every single Friday right now.
It's a great thing to look forward to every week. I'm really bummed it's almost over. But what they do really well is they don't make you wait.
I just don't know what I'm going to do throughout quarantine part 2.
Oh, really? I kind of wedged into a nice little groove.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's going to be nice when school ends for me. Have time to relax.
And that's pretty much it. You just got to find a way to relax.
Yeah.
And maybe listen to a new podcast.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
Maybe if you're alone, Maybe if you're with a group of friends, turn on Nerds in the Gym. Let us be your friends.
I love how we're advertising with our own podcast.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're advertising on our podcast. It's like, guess what? People are listening to this are the ones that are probably just going to listen to it again.
Speaking of which, this podcast brought to you by Campbell's Soup. Mm-hmm.
Slurp it up.
It's cold outside, but warm in your belly. Campbell's tomato. All right, man. We're hitting 55 minutes. You want to call this episode done and head over to Check Your Jock?
Sure.
All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym. We're coming out Tuesdays, 1 p.m.
Yes.
11 a.m. if Marco hits this fat fingers button.
No, it was set for 1 p.m. Eastern time. Gotta get that down, folks.
All right, so we're going to be on Apple.
We're on Apple. We're on Spotify. I'm working on Amazon.
Working on Amazon.
We're going to be getting these videos up on YouTube.
Stay put for YouTube launch.
Yep.
Check us out on social media.
Hip hip yay.
And we're growing, guys. We're moving a little slow, so get on the ground floor. Hit that download button. Hit subscribe. And we'll be with you every week.
We're going balls to the walls with this, folks.
Hopefully Joe will be back next week. All right, as always, shout out to Steve Jones. We miss you. You see Steve today?
No, I didn't actually.
What a tease.
I got super excited for nothing.
All right, guys. Be good.
Adios, amigos.
What episode is this?